Hello, Internet, and welcome to my live reaction from March Comes in Like a Lion, chapter 179. When we last left our heroes, Aunt Misaki came to Mikazuki-do, and she, Grandpa Seiji, and Akari all kind of continued their discussion that started the previous chapter about buying the property next door and expanding Mikazuki-do. There were some great jokes there about adopting Kiriyama and what will happen if Kiriyama gets wind of this. But by and large, they decided to keep it from him, keep it from Hina, because Hina will obviously tell him. Because if he finds out, he's going to start actively trying to win for the money, and it'll upset his kind of balance. It was just a really good, showcase of the Kawamotos all kind of, keeping Kiriyama in mind and just, doing what's best for him. Meanwhile, Nikaido and Shigeda's match, I think was his name. Yeah, Shigeda. Their match came to an end. All the Shogi Senpai were just like, I never want to play a match like that. And Kiriyama went home to study the match. So all that being said, let's jump right on into Chapter 179, Winter Scent Part 4. Here we see Nobidome, still on his run, runs into two very, jacked guys running together. When you run alone, you get stronger. When you all run together, it gets more fun. I'm honestly a little amazed that the series just, had all of its covers just be focused on Nobidome running for the past, 20 chapters. I don't really know why, but it's cool they did that. Anyway, it's strange. We open with what I'm assuming is a Kiriyama monologue. I think he's still studying Nikaido's game, and we hear him say, this is fun. And then his monologue continues, when I entered this year, those pitch-dark footsteps disappeared. We see him still studying the game board. I'm not sure why. It's such a bizarre shape. Like, playing Black 5-2 Gyoku here. It makes me tremble in more ways than one. Man, those two, Shigeta-san and Nikaido, they have real talent. Even though they looked like they were straying way off course. It's like they're finding all these tasty-looking things growing a ways off the main road or something. It looks so darn fun. All the stiffness in my body melted away, and I became able to see the board clearly again. He's back to the part he's actually saying. When he goes to attack with a Hisha, it's like he's saying, come get me. So of course it's a furious attack. But going from opposing central Hishas to Gyoku in the center, I never even considered that. I guess it's like, if you went down the main road, you'd find yourself on a path like this. I guess this is what they mean when that they're a fruit unlike any you've ever seen that only grow in rugged mountainsides like these. Alright, so he's seeing, like last chapter kind of set up, no one really plays the game like Nikaido and Shigeta did together. And as he's studying it some more, he thinks, this is fun. Fun in a reckless way. That reminds me. Recently, I've been focusing solely on researching the mainline play because it's something I know I need to do. So I've cut down severely on thinking about side roads. And then he pauses. I forgot about food. Okay. Honestly, yeah, that's a vibe. He gets so caught up in his little world that he completely forgot about food. And then he goes to the fridge. Wait, Hina-chan's onigiri. Oh yeah, I ate them all already, didn't I? Hold on. What day is it today? When was the last time I went to Hina-chan's house? How long has it been since New Year? I don't feel like it's been that long, but he looks up. I want to see her. Aw. And he puts his coat on and he goes to Mikazuki-do. I wonder if he's going to walk right on in to the conversation about buying the next door property. I want to see her face really bad. And he's running down the bridge now to see her, and he just walks right in. Good evening, Hina-chan, and he sees Hina working on something. There's paper all around her on the floor. And she kind of freezes. That voice? Rei-chan? And she turns back. Rei-chan, welcome. I'm sorry, everything's such a mess right now. I'm almost done. I just need to keep stamping until I get to a good stopping point, so just hold on for a bit. I'll go as fast as I can. Sorry! And that whole, wall of words, Ray just kind of freezes up. Huh? Sorry for showing up out of the blue. Why are you being so formal? Akari comes in, just smiles. Hina, it's fine. You don't need to rush. Let's just take a break together once you're at a good stopping point. I'll pour some tea. Come on, Kiriyama-kun, won't you help me out? And then they go to the kitchen, and Akari talks to him. I bet you were surprised with the floor being a sea of prints. The wrapping paper for our spring sweets. And we see Ray like looking at the prints. I know you've shown me this sort of thing before. Wrapping paper for special occasions. Yes, that was the calligraphy teacher's 70th birthday celebration, right? That was really popular. That potato stamped wrapping paper Hina made. They said it was charming in its simplicity. We see that I think the top one might be the spring print. It has like cherry blossoms. It looks kind of springy. The bottom one might be the 70th birthday thing. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, Akari continues. It looks like she really missed you, but she couldn't bring herself to say out loud, I shouldn't, because it would interrupt his shogi work. And then we see Hina in like a flashback. Well, he played with us a whole lot around Christmas and New Year, so Ray-chan must not have been able to study shogi then. So I gotta give it my all on the stuff I can do. So while Ray-chan is working hard with shogi, I'm gonna stamp wrapping paper for spring and early summer. So first she went to town carving the potato stamps, and then she started stamping them. And she's been like that since yesterday. She's probably printed enough for around the next 5 years at this point. You know what? What? Hina, you don't have to go that far. And we see Ray's shock, and then Akari's just, yeah. But she's probably exhausted herself by now, so she might be malfunctioning a bit. Back to Ray's inner monologue. Being the blockhead that I am, I'd only finally realized after hearing Akari-san say that. And we see Ray says, Akari-san, I did something really inexcusable to Hina-chan. What should I do? Is he talking about this or something, or something I've forgotten? Because this isn't really his fault in the end. This is all Hina. And Akari just comforts him. It's okay. For times like this, I've got just the thing. Oh, it's gonna be a cooking recipe chapter. 2 heaping teaspoons of pure cocoa, 1 heaping teaspoon of sugar, then a secret small helping of butter, then a sprinkle of salt to bring out the flavor. Then you put it on a super low flame and then stir it gently with a wooden spoon to keep it from burning. Just like that. Then take a small mug of milk and mix it in a little at a time. And finally, just a little of Hina's favorite, marmalade. Ray says, that smells good. Hina and I always look forward to having this every winter. We drink it secretly when Momo's already gone to bed and chat about stuff. And then they come in for Hina. Come back to the room where Hina is, gives her the drink. Hina-chan, here you are. Huh? Oh no, that was Ray. Did Ray give her... Has Ray always used Chan for her? He might have. I might just be forgetting that. Anyway, Hina looks at it kind of shocked. Huh? Coco? You've been working really hard. How about a little break? It smells so good. It smells like oranges. And we see she, like, smells it. And Ray says, Akari-san taught me how to make it. I've never made it from scratch like that before. You made this, Ray-chan? Wah! And she takes a drink and she starts to, like, tear up. It's so good. And then Ray takes a look at the print she's making. Cherry blossoms and butterflies. Those are some nice spring colors. And is that yeah, that does look like it is the design we saw on page 6 with the cherry blossoms and butterflies there. So I was right about that, I think. I'm sure anyone who gets these will be delighted. And then Hina responds, I went with a big eraser for the bigger prints. I can't store a potato to use later, but I can with an eraser. Oh, I see. You sure printed a lot, huh? So is she supposed to stamp things with a potato? Might be some particular art form I'm just very much not aware of, but that sounds really weird to me. I'm sure everyone's gonna love them. Really? Yeah, I'm sure of it. I'm sure when everyone sees these, they'll think, spring is here. To be continued. Okay. So, this chapter kind of continues Winter Scent's theme of just, like, bridging these two disparate stories, the Mikazuki-Do and the Lion King tournament. Right, that's the translation, right? Sorry about that. That was my alarm, for my meds. Worry about that later. Anyway, connecting the two threads between Mikazuki-Do and the Shishio, We don't really see a lot of the continuing discussion about buying the new property. But also, given the chapter has Rey on every page, and part of the decision last time was to not tell Rey anything, that's kind of all they can really do. So yeah, it's a much more of a fluff chapter than the previous 3 parts of Winter Scent, but it's sweet, it's cute. We see how much Rey, how his immediate, much like Hina, we saw, is very concerned about Rey. Rey is like equally concerned for Hina here, which is nice. Like I've always said, I'm not the biggest Rey Hina shipper. I'm not like opposed to it or anything, but it's just never been a ship that particularly spoke to me in any given way. But if you are, I imagine that this was a pretty fun chapter for you. Not in the way that like some of the mid chapters of New Year were, where it was just them talking about their relationship. But still some cute fluff. I'm curious. The particular ending line of "Spring is here" makes me wonder if this is going to be the end of Winter Scent. I mean, not that really matters at all, but like just throwing that out there. But yeah, there's not a whole lot to dig into here, at least that I can find. I do like, Rey is just like, I want to see Hina. Specifically, from a development of their relationship, the fact that it's Hina-chan's house, as opposed to the Kawamoto's house. Also, I just realized looking at Hina-chan's house, my earlier comment about how long, has Rey ever called her Chan before, doesn't really work, because he literally did earlier this chapter. Whoops, that's on me. But anyway, back to what I was saying. He calls it Hina-chan's house, as opposed to the Kawamoto house, as opposed to, I don't know, what other terms did he use to describe it in the past? Like their house, Mikazuki-do, anything like that. It's specifically Hina that he wants to see. In fact, later on that page, he specifically says, I want to see her. I want to see her face really badly. So there's your ship fuel for now. But yeah, beyond that, it's largely fluff. So yeah, I think the Scanlator said there was not going to be a chapter in the next issue, which is 2 weeks from now. But there should be one in the issue 4 weeks from now, maybe? Who knows? So anyway, all that to say, it could be a while before we get more March. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later. But yeah, I enjoyed this chapter. There's not a whole lot to really say about it. It's just kind of nice. So yeah, I'm going to leave the video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!